Okay, let's see. Hope it's working. Test sound. So it still says offline. And now it's starting. Yay, I am live and it's working. It's offline. And now it. Oh, and the sound's almost okay. There's still some hum there. I think it's from my computer, but there's not much I can do about that at this time. So I'm coloring, sorry, I'm coloring. Uh, June did the line art. Links to her art as always on my blog and the description video and so on. So now I'm going to color page 98 from my comic book, Niels Feynman's Time Traveling Adventures. It's about a little half Chinese, half Dutch boy from the future. And he's a huge fan of Isaac Newton, so he traveled back in time with a little time machine he built in his little workshop to go visit Isaac Newton. And to just fanboy everywhere. Annoy him, basically. It's not on purpose, though. He's just super enthusiastic. He gets to meet his hero. Which I guess all of us would be. It's very dark here in Michigan because it is snowing. But it's snowing beautifully. And I'm actually gonna try and finish today's page as quickly as I can. And then just go stare out the window like a cat. This is what I've done before the stream started. And for those of you that don't have snow where you live, on one side you should be happy because you don't have all the issues regarding snowfall, but on the other side it's really pretty when it's pleasant and you don't actually have to be outside the snowstorm. You can just sit inside and look at it, and then it's very pretty and it's really awesome. But here in Michigan, the winters are way too long. Oh, hi, Kirani. I don't know how it is with you, but it's snowing very well here. Checking it for our non-shoveled snowfall amount. Hey. I don't know. I mean, it's still snowing, so we might have some more coming up. Yeah, since I'm not gonna go out anywhere today, I'm really happy, but I hope my husband will be safe and gets home in one piece. I like to keep him as a husband. He's doing a great job so far. Snowbanks are taller than me. Meanwhile, unshoveled piled up natural snowfall amounts are taller than the toddlers. Oh. Yeah, you guys are even more up north. Like you don't have summers. It's too much for me. Wishing your hubby a safe journey home. Yeah, me too. Hope his car still works. Like we had a dead battery. Fortunately, he has some little machine to recharge it. Northern Water Tribe. I love our summers and quotations. Yeah, you are definitely the Northern Water Tribe at this point. I'm not sure if I can count as being in the Earth Kingdom though, because we don't really have summers here either. Like the summers here are really lame. The sun doesn't really burn, and it's really weird because it's at the same latitude as my home city, so it should be the same intensity for the sun, but it's not. Like, I've stood outside here in the summer, and like I barely got any sunburns. Like my skin turned pink. My husband's turned red because he's more sensitive than me. But I wouldn't call that a sunburn. Like, I've had sunburns before, and those aren't really sunburns. Like, in my opinion, a sunburn is when your skin starts falling off. Sunburn for me. Like, actual burn. Well, the Inuit far up north said that the Earth's axis shifted about 5 years ago, so maybe that's why no longer same longitude. Uh, I have no idea how that stuff works. And I thought that this stuff is slower, like you don't have like a shift all of a sudden at some point. I don't know. Maybe it happened like 300 years ago slowly when they drew the lines. And is no longer accurate, but I think they would have updated that. Like, they keep track of daylight savings and stuff like that. I would imagine they would change this too, but you never know. Unless you're an expert in the field, I kind of find it hard to keep track of this stuff. So Niels got a oops. Niels got a coin from an old man. I can go look that up again, and yeah, the original source I believe was something credible. It's repeated in credible sources. Yeah, it's so hard to, kind of keep track of who's a reliable source. Like, um, National Geographic used to be a good source of information, but I just looked at a documentary from National Geographic, and it said the narrator was saying something about magical properties of plants, and I'm like, come on. Like, I understand that saving the earth is important. We all agree on that, but do you really need to be sensationalistic? And the History Channel has been down the drain for a long time with their alien pyramids and stuff. Yeah, that's what goes on as acceptable discussions on making a National Geographic documentary. So it's kind of hard for me to listen to all of that because they did have some biologists that seemed to know what they were talking about, but oh, survival in Alaska for History Channel. I don't think it sounds that bad, but I haven't seen the show, so I can't make any judgment on it yet. Uh, I don't know. The advertising has changed maybe. Because all of these shows, like the only ones that are somewhat good are the BBC, and it's government funded. So the BBC can still do okay stuff because they don't need to make millions of dollars. Yeah, some of the shows are really bad. Well, I don't think there was any noble goal to begin with. It's just that you had a hand of people making decisions back then, and you have a hand of people making decisions now, and the way that make that money maybe has changed. Also, I think is the legislation. Like from what I understand, because this is mostly a U.S. problem. Like you don't really see this issue in other countries. So from what I understand, no, I didn't watch. From what I understand, there was some legislation a while back where you had to report the news in an unbiased way, and also that law covered documentaries and other things like that. So I'm not sure exactly what changed, but I think the standards of what you are allowed to make as a TV show have changed. And since we collectively watch a lot of mostly American shows, that's kind of set the tone for a lot of other people to go a certain direction. I had a bit of lisp there, and it sounded like I said a plural. But I just saw that Bill Nye, like some scientists were complaining he was saying stuff that wasn't exactly correct, and that he's not a scientist, so you shouldn't take everything he says as gospel truth and think a little. As of right now. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I'm really not sure what's going on, but I do remember watching documentaries when I was a kid and really enjoying them. Like the Animal Planet ones weren't especially intelligent, and I was a kid, so it didn't matter that they weren't very stimulating. Like I saw a pretty animal and was like, "Yay, that's awesome." So, and I think they kind of mostly kept that format. Discredited poor dear. Yeah, I've never watched Bill Nye the Science Guy because I just had no interest in him. I've mostly watched Neil deGrasse Tyson and Stephen Hawking. Like once they retired and weren't putting out any research papers, they kind of dedicated their time to um, doing TV shows, which I think is nice. Although Stephen Hawking always had a bit of a showman bone in him, like he's always been a bit how do I say? He was good at making content for TV. Like he kind of knew how to put on a show. Oh, when they're in the Batmobile, yeah, I thought that was cute. Yeah, I saw the one with the they're in the Batmobile. This one was an interview with Colbert and was off with. Oh, hi Anna. Oh, welcome. Long time no chat. Neil interview him personal. Oh yeah, talk about Lord of the Rings. Yeah, it was super cute. Uh, how's it been going for you, Anna? Can you hear me okay? Can you hear me okay? Hope the sound is good for everybody. Last time I checked it was working. I have a very snowy day here. It's snowing very, very pretty. It looks so fluffy. Like everything is powdered and sugar. But I hear back home in Romania it's mud everywhere, so it's less fun. Hope you're doing okay. I'm coloring the next page. It's page 98, so soon we're gonna reach 100 story pages, so I'm super excited for that milestone. Like it's a whole new milestone for me. I think I had like 60 pages for Ernest, not sure. Let's see. Where was it? Origin story. Let's see how many. Oh, 28 pages. Wow, that's oh, yeah, that milestone has been reached a long time ago. Yeah, for a strange encounter, I haven't counted the pages, but I think I have 10 pages for each part. And so far I've written 3 parts, so it will be like over 30 pages. You do the lives at this hour on Wednesday? Yes. Trying to find a time that's best for everybody, so it's now Wednesdays and Saturdays, and they're both at 1 o'clock. 1 plus 6, I think, for Italy would be 7 o'clock for you guys. I think so, 7 o'clock for Italy. And 5 o'clock for UK, 8 o'clock for Romania, something like that. Yeah, 7 o'clock for you. It's 1:30 for me. It's 13:23 for me now. I start at 13 and end at 15 now. So in an hour and a half, I'm gonna end the stream. Glad you're having good internet. June has had horrible internet. She was barely able to send the pages to me. I don't think it was from any storm though. Do you have a lot of storms during winter in Italy? Here in Michigan, we sometimes get like a heavy snowfall and then everything melts because it was warm, and that builds up a lot of ice on power lines and internet lines, so that usually breaks the internet for us. In my place, no, more fog and humidity. Yeah, I saw that. I think you posted or somebody else in my list from Italy. Um, there was this map of Italy. It was like nice part, pretty part, great beaches part, part with great mountains, and the part where you are, it's great fog. You have the most beautiful fog in all of Italy. So I'm kind of sorry for you. You have too much fog. But you know, if you're really into gothic um uh clothing, like you can dress up as a witch and go to work and you would fit right in with the decorations with all that fog. Yes, beautiful fog. Someone did a calendar with fog photos, even for summer months. Ah, you gotta send me that. It sounds hilarious. Or is it like just white? Is it like a white canvas? Maybe I can find it if I Google it. Italian calendar fog. Like this? Because I mean, this is pretty. I like this one. Kind of like fog. Halloween is my favorite holiday, so I wouldn't mind it being Padania calendar. Okay. Now I'm getting football. Lots of football. Let's see. Padania calendar fog. As of Padania, there's a game and it has a lot of fog. Oh my god. Is this like for real? Mosquito spray. Best photo of Padania. You died. Mosquito bites in the fog. Oh my god. They made a game with the fog in your area. And you have to use mosquito spray to defend yourself. Oh my god. I want this game. Let's see, where can I buy it? Chronicles of Padania, Boring's Journey Through the Fog. A series of promotional posters and fake screenshots of an imaginary RPG in Padania. An Italian plane famous for endless fog and other nice stuff. No, it's not a real game. It's a fake game. It's just fake promotional advertising stuff. But to be honest, I would play this game. Okay, let me give you guys the link. Like, I would like a less magical game, you know, with you have to fight mosquitoes and plague rats and stuff like that. Like real world challenges. Yeah, it is adorably done. It has a bit of a Adventure Time vibe to it. Driving in the fog at night is the real game. Oh dear me. You know what? Niels's story takes place in the summer in UK where it's pretty damp. So I think you might have fog. So, you know what? You actually gave me an idea to add fog to the ending chapter. But I have to go check and see under what actual conditions fog happens. I don't know if you get much fog in the summer. You guys don't have moose there. That's the added bonus around here. Oh yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, that's dangerous. I think they might have deer if they didn't eat it all, but because in Europe you really don't have much wildlife. This is what surprised me coming here to the US. The roads are filled with roadkill. You really don't see any roadkill in Europe. Live dangerously. Safe? Hey, it worked. Ah, you have nutrient pheasants. Yeah, I mean, in Romania you technically have wildlife as well, but you rarely ever see it. Like here in the US, the roads are just filled all the time with raccoons and baby bunnies, and it's just full of animals. To Google, it's like a little weasel otter thing. Nutria. I think we have it in Romania as well, but in Romania you mostly get like dogs hit by cars, but not much else. Maybe a pigeon. Beaver groundhog. We don't have any skunks in Europe, I think. We have some animals that do stink. I forget the names. But, like, yeah, we don't have skunks. And skunks are just ridiculously cute. I never knew a skunk could be so cute. I shared in my server, I don't have the link on hand, but there was this compilation of baby skunk. Alright, toddler has deemed my PC time has reached maximum. Oh, good luck with your toddlers. Thanks for the stream. Take care, Kairani. Thanks for coming by. They are crazy adorable. Yeah, so Anna, if you didn't know, they are adorable, and you can, yeah, sting glands removed and keep them as pets. They're actually surprisingly friendly and social animals. Like between a skunk and a raccoon, it's better idea to get a skunk pet. Yeah. Bye bye. Yeah, any surgical operation is expensive, I imagine, until they like breed skunks that don't smell. They don't have the gland anymore. My tummy is grumbling. I already fed it, but I guess my stomach is hungry again. It's making weird noises. And here they knock into each other. Everyone's trying to get out and Marie's trying to get in. And this is how accidents happen when you don't give priority when getting off the subway. This is what you get. Like, I still think it's magic how in Japan the subway cart stops exactly in the right place, and then people orderly get off the subway. I don't know if you've ever been with the subway, Anna, but it can be more fun than with the bus. Let's say. Let's call it that and leave it at that. An adventure. And I changed my keyboard shortcuts there so I can easily switch between tools. And here comes Niels to the rescue. I kind of got tired of drawing all of those bricks after a while, I have to admit. Do you watch Steven Universe? I watched some bits of it. I watched some reviews of it. It just wasn't a topic that I was particularly interested in, and didn't like the premise that much anyway about the jewels and stuff. I'm kind of not interested in jewels. I know you like them. I saw you did some fan art of the other jewel series, which was pretty nice. It looked good. To be honest, I haven't been watching that many cartoons lately. I just haven't found anything that particularly piqued my interest. I have been looking for stuff to look at though. Trying to remember now the last show I saw that was animated. Um, yeah, I really can't remember. Made in Abyss. I watched, I think the last show was last year, and it was Made in Abyss, and was super creepy show. The visuals were amazing though, like it looks spectacular. I'm really trying to figure out a way how I can get more verticality in my scenery, simply because it looked amazing. Uh, if it's good, it's a very anime-ish story. Like, each culture kind of has its stereotype. Like European animations have a certain flavor. American ones are always with happy end, and Japanese ones are just always so creepy and scary. Made in Abyss is very Japanesey in that sense. Heck, it's very pretty to look at, but it gets really, really dark very, very fast. uh, but yeah, if you're looking for inspiration for your art, it's a good show to watch in that sense. But be careful. Like, don't watch it before you go to bed and stuff like that. You think it's cute and funny and it's gonna be adorable because it has kids and the art is a bit chibi, and then nope, it's a really creepy show. But I am looking forward to the second season because I don't want to read the manga because it's black and white and it looks so much better with colors on, so I'd like to see it full color. Creepy and sad. Yeah, yeah. I mean, you can give it a try or at least watch the first episodes that are okay. Like the first episodes are really nice, it's two kids going on an adventure to save their mom, and one of the kids is actually a robot, but doesn't matter. It's fun and cute. Promise Neverland. Promise Neverland? I don't remember. Let me check out. Promise Neverland. Oh, it looks cute. I'm gonna try it out later. Maybe not. He doesn't look happy about what's going on. Promise Neverland anime. Yeah, I mean, this looks cute, but I think it's gonna turn dark. Like, I don't know if I can trust you, Anna. You've recommended creepy stuff to me before. Yeah. I'm gonna watch this in full daylight and see if it's a fun show that I can continue to watch. Like there was this other show, something Cabanieri, was with zombies on a train. But the art and the animation was really good. Cabanieri, something something zombies. What was it called? Cabanieri of the Iron Fortress. Okay, Cabanieri of the Iron Fortress. Yeah, so the art for this one's really good as well. The animation's very good, but it's just gross zombie explosions most of the time. A lot of people complained about the story. I thought it was okay by, commercial film standards. It's not a award-winning anything, and I don't think they ever intended to be award-winning to begin with. Like, they didn't aim very high. As far as I remember listening to them in an interview, they were mostly trying to test out some new animation technology for their studio. So that is what they mostly wanted to do, and as far as I understand, they achieved that goal. That's why they wanted a shorter series to kind of develop that skill more. I'm not sure if they have that much 3D in it, to be honest. I really couldn't tell, so if they had relied heavily on 3D, it wasn't showing and it was done well, which I can't say for all animes. Like, some animes are just terrible and bad use of CGI. Amara? No, I haven't heard of her. Let me check it out to see what it is. Is it an anime? Ah, yeah, I saw it. I saw, I think, 2 episodes, and then I kind of got bored. Um, I think it was a cute premise. You have a Middle Eastern anime superhero. I got to see some more kind of Middle Eastern culture, dress code, and stuff like that. So that was nice to have some insight into it. Because aside from the hijab and the burqa, like, if you tell me, imagine Middle Eastern clothing, like, that's where my mind goes, and I don't know much else. Like, bed sheets wrapped in a bed sheet. And unlike the Greeks, who are also wrapped in a bed sheet, they have a bed sheet on their head as well. So that's the extent of my knowledge. But I didn't like it. The story starts already in the middle of the plot. I don't remember anything about the anime. Like, I remember I got bored and I stopped watching because there wasn't that much culture shown into it. Like, that was the interest for me. Yeah, the character design was interesting. That's what appealed to me as well. It's like, oh, see something different. Because I'm tired of Vikings. Uh, a lot of video games are set in a Viking uh, location, and it's furs and antlers and stuff like that. So I'm kind of bored of that. I would like some more Asian stuff. Ideally, I would like to see some Mayan stuff, but I know I'm asking for too much. Like, there's nobody there that has the financial backing to make anything that could reach me here in US or Europe. Like, it's really hard to break into a new market that is culturally different. You gotta have some financial backing for the promotion and advertising, because, people that live in the US just want to see US stuff, and they're not actively looking for other things. So what I get in my news feed, it's not gonna be anything too interesting, because that's kind of how Facebook works. Like, I tried to change my location to other countries to see if maybe I'm getting advertising for other things aside from EA and Ubisoft games and stuff like that, but no such luck. I like that YouTube is doing a bit better, but still like, for example, there was this anime, uh, Secret of Kells Studio. It's Cartoon Saloon, I think. So it is, I think, a British, Irish. Yeah, the breadwinner. So this was pretty interesting film, but the only reason it got any worldwide publicity was because it was production company from what's her face, sexy lady, um played Tomb Raider. What's her name? Angelina Jolie. Okay. So Angelina Jolie did a lot of work in promoting this cartoon, so that's kind of why it managed to reach me. I can't even remember. It just showed up in my feed on YouTube at some point. So I was like, what is this? It looks like a Secret of Kills cartoon, and sure enough, it was from the same studio that did Secret of Kells and Selkie and a bunch more that are really awesome. And the reason that I know about that studio's work, because obviously I didn't remember their name, was because I used to go at animation festivals back when I lived in the capital. I got a festival pass. It wasn't cheap, but I could just go at whatever cartoon I wanted at whatever time. And that's how I saw the Secret of Kells. Like, animation festivals or film festivals of any kind are a great invention. You get to see stuff you would have never uh, found out about, because it usually doesn't show up in your feed. Like, you have to always actively go looking for stuff. And that's why I'm pretty sad that they don't organize any festivals here where I am, for film anyway. I don't live in a very artsy place. And back home as well, usually the ones that did do these festivals were small studios, cinemas that are independent. Like, they are in a, what's it called? Union, but they're still owned by different people. So it's not a franchise. And so they would organize to do shows that aren't that commercially successful. You know, they're not blockbusters, they're indie films. Or foreign films. I really want to see Children of Heaven, but I haven't been able to find the film. Not here in the US anyway. I have a bunch of stuff locked, and it's too much of a hassle for me to get an IP. Like, I already have a virtual machine, and I have to get an IP and other things and log into that as well. Children of Heaven. It's an Iranian film from the 90s. Children of Heaven. It's a feature film, but it's super cute. Like, I would really want to see it. Like, I saw a review of it, and I just loved the premise and the story and the characters. So the whole point is, I can try to find it. Yeah, if you can, that would be awesome. Send me a link. Let's see if I can find that review again on YouTube. YouTube review Children of Heaven. Let me go on YouTube. Maybe I'll recognize the thumbnail.
This video is...
Yeah, this is it. I thought it was a really sweet film. So the idea is that they're both pretty poor, and the brother loses the shoes of the sister, so then they have to, like, share the shoes together. And the characters seem very lovable, and the whole thing seems really heartwarming, and how they manage to solve their problem and manage by themselves, because the parents, you know, they're busy, they're sick, they have so many problems, and so the kids, their problems are not serious, but to them it seems like it's the end of the world. So I thought that was like an interesting point of view, because I don't remember how it was to be a kid. So I'm kind of trying to look at more stories told from the child's perspective, just so I can still keep it okay with Niels and not make him too wise or too adult or too stupid, or like avoid any extremes. and the famous British thief. They didn't have healthcare in the Middle Ages. They don't have much of it here now. My bloom and strawberries. I really can't do an old English accent. I have no idea how they sounded, to be honest. I've heard some kind of versions of how they might have sounded, but I definitely can't do the accent. I can think she's yelling like, "Oh, you watch it." See if I have a basket here anywhere. Yeah, kind of that mustardy color. And I think I'll give her some freckles. Because I haven't really drawn anybody with freckles, and British people, I understand, tend to have a lot of freckles. Not exactly sure how frequent that is. Like, mostly when I see British people on TV, they don't have that many freckles. But I don't know if it's just that freckled people don't get many TV jobs. That might be an issue. Like, I remember when I was in Romania, I was a bit younger, and I saw a foreigner in the bus. And like, you can see there were a foreigner from miles away, and a northern one also, because they were just so much paler than everybody else around them. Like, they were super pale. Like, I think if you were to classify by skin colors, Romanians, Bulgarians, they're still white people. But this person, like, super pale and had freckles. And like, you can see it from a mile away. They were a foreigner. Like, even I as a kid, I knew, like, they're not from around here. Now, I don't know if they were Scandinavian or British, but definitely something up north. So I kind of gave her a pale face, even though it's a peasant, so I'm not sure how dark British peasants were. Like, I think I make some of these people way too pale, because that's just my assumption of British people. But like they really don't have much sunshine. They have some sunshine in the summer, and that's about it. I think maybe they get 2 weeks of sunlight. Like whenever I watch gardening shows from Britain, they're just always cloudy. I think I made her too pale, and she looks like a cadaver. I will add in some shading so she looks more normal. Run, Niels, run! And the tip of the tail. I'm gonna close that loop. There we go. I should be able to color in peace. Nope. Oh, I better not forget to do, because it seems June wasn't able to come to the live stream. She probably didn't have internet again. So I'm gonna record this towards the end to kind of explain the next pages, so I better not forget to do that. Maybe I should write it down, because I'm definitely going to forget. I think June did a great work with the line art. Let's see here. Yeah, I guess I can make it like a light blue curtain. And the hat, oh, thinking with my brain. I guess I can make it like green and have a white feather. No inspiration whatsoever. Turn off those layers. That shield over there, oh, I think it was page 96. Let's see. Oops. Brown and gray in the middle. Oops. Come on. Oh, it stopped snowing, and we might actually even get some sunlight. Not sure, it's still very cloudy. Um, Okay, so the rope thingy was rope colored. To be honest, I kind of look dead myself compared to darker toned fellow countrymen. I'm super pale, and if I don't see the sunlight, like I turn into a ghost. And I don't even have to pay money for a Halloween costume. I can just go with my natural skin color. There's a YouTube channel that I follow. There's a lady that does tutorials about vintage clothing, and she is naturally super pale, like she looks like a dead person as well. And she also, because it was fashionable back in the day to kind of look half dead, or pretty dead, recently deceased. Um, like a lot of ladies would put really white makeup on them. She does the same for her vintage outfits, and I think whoever takes her photos has a hard time adjusting the exposure so that she doesn't look completely white like her um, clothing if she wears anything white, but more to try and get a porcelain look. And when you're taking photos outside, it's tricky business. You really don't have that much control over um, the lighting situation. She's pretty white. I made her too white. Oh no, I forgot to put the color on. There we go. Human being. She still has a heartbeat. And is not yet out for blood. In the middle of the night. Oh, I have the table. I forgot about the table. Ah, okay, I have to color this as well. Table. At least I already have the colors set up for most of this stuff. I don't have to add much. Yeah, I'll change the colors a bit afterwards so that you can distinguish the hair from the dress, but for now I'm gonna leave it at that. Okay, and the other two panels. I have a table there as well. There we go. Managed to find the, the right layer. make it wood and add the red stuff. Oops, wrong brush. I love this feature, it's so great. I wish I had it in Photoshop, but sadly you don't. See the line and how it's gonna go. It's so helpful. Okay, second table, which is actually first. And it's 2:26. I have time. Gonna finish everything. I kind of panicked a bit there. Was worried I wasn't gonna finish in time. And one background left. Oh, wait. I have to actually look at how that building looks like because I drew it before. I just gotta find out where. Okay, so it's this one. I kind of like that pink roof more, but I clicked on the layers at some point. And the line art. It's colored underneath. Not great, but fixable. And I feel a sneeze coming along. Okay. Whew. So, yay, 35. I think I'm done with everything coloring wise, so I'm just gonna go to the horrible sketch pages that I make so I can explain some stuff to June, because it looks like a mess and it's hard to guess what is what, especially since I don't put any annotations next to it, because usually I don't have any room left. Okay, so Niels and gang are running away from the farmer's market, and let me just open Google. Come on, buddy, you can do it. Go up, up, back up. Okay, so they're running from the market hill, because supposedly the theater was here. And well, actually it would have made more sense to go on this street, but I don't have any interesting buildings there from what I remember. Yeah, the other ones look better. Okay, so oops, no, don't take me there. Go back. Why did the map rotate? No. Ew. Google, why you sabotage me? Okay, got it. So they would have busted out from this area here, and we're not gonna show all of that running every which direction because I don't have room for that. The chapter 4 is gonna end. So they're going down this street here. It's called, can't see, but okay, Guildhall Street. So they're going down Guildhall Street and they take a corner here then, so that I can show these two really nice looking buildings that I don't think they're from the 17th century, but I mean they look close enough to 17th century. This personally to me looks a bit French, and they kind of hated the French at the time because they supported the Jacobites. I don't know if they would this build. I wasn't able to find the date of this building, but just look at it. It's so pretty. I think it would look great in the comic. So they would be coming down the street, as you can see here, and they are followed by the two theater employees that we showed in page 96. So the fat old guy with the sideburns and the young guy with blonde hair. So these three protagonists are running, the two theater hands are following. Here you see them running after them. And in the background you would see the market square. So here it should be kind of this view, like you'd still see the theater and the tents and stuff like that, and on either side there should be some medieval buildings. Like this is the one with white and brown beams. That you can see here, so it would be the side, so they would actually be going like in that direction. And then taking a right. I know it's a bit confusing, but yeah, I'm trying to show nice buildings, and it's kind of hard because a lot of the buildings are modern and I can't find any reference for the old ones. It was just too far long ago for that. So then they would be chasing the kids, and then you would have this street, the one that I showed you before, and I'm gonna show you again in the Google Maps. So this pretty looking building is called the Corn Exchange. Let me see if I can go in front of it. So it says Corn Exchange. It's a theater now. It used to be a place where I assumed they exchanged corn. Which means kind of a type of wheat. It's not the same corn as we think of today. They just named the American corn, but they had some other type of wheat that was also called corn, so English can be fun. And I couldn't find the exact date for this building. I'm not sure it existed in the time of Isaac Newton. What I've been able to find out was that it was a friar's hermitage, so a monk building, church stuff. And I have no idea how that looks, so I'm just gonna, risk it and say draw this building. It only shows in 2 panels, so if anybody ever corrects us in 10 or 20 years from now, whatever, we won't have too much to correct, since it'll be like only 2 panels. Yep, so that's the building that they're running on. Sorry, street that they're running on. Guild Street. I think. Guildhall Street. So there'll be these two pretty buildings here, and you have Niels running from the two future hands. The old guy is tired, so he's just stopped here. He's bent over. He's breathing heavily because he's run out of breath and probably will have a heart attack or something. The young man is still running, and then you have a city guardsman coming from between the two buildings. As you can see here, it's the Corn Exchange Street, so the guardsman would be coming from where those dumpsters are, so you'd be coming down the street, da-da-da. He heard shouting, "Help, thief!" whatever, guards, something. And so he kind of follows to see what's going on. Cambridge Library hasn't answered me yet, so I think they don't know how the guardsman was supposed to look like. Usually when they don't know, they don't answer me. When they do know, they answer me, so that's how they function. So I'm assuming, because I saw the message was read, so I'm assuming that they saw my message, they weren't able to find the information, and so they didn't answer, because that's how they usually do. Like I've noticed, they sometimes answer, sometimes they don't. So regarding our discussion, we're gonna make the guardsman kind of look like the reference images we agreed upon, and maybe give him a fancy hat with a feather or something to kind of stand out. I'm not sure exactly how they would have looked like. Like, I'm assuming you need some kind of identification aside from a pole arm, like the stick with the stabby thing on top. Okay, so they're at the street corner now, so the young man reached the guardsman. He puts a hand on his shoulder and says, "Thief, help us, there's a thief, so please help us." And he points at Niels, that Niels is the thief. And the guardsman's looking ahead, looking at Niels. Everybody's running. Erwin is so tired he just collapses. Marie's yelling at him, "Not now, the police are coming after us, the fuzz, run, Erwin." And he's like, "I'm dead, I can't move, the tragedy." And then Niels comes, picks up Erwin, and he runs off with Erwin in his hands. And they all run off to outside of the city. And let me just pull out the old map. If you guys don't want spoilers, although nobody's really watching the stream, so I'm not worried. Oops. So they arrive, they run, and they arrive on the hill. I didn't draw the line very well here. So they're gonna be on a hill next to the hill where they landed. So if you remember, they landed, they went down the street, there were sheep on the right, and they have farmhouse on the left where they borrowed the clothing. So now they're gonna be on this hill area here and gonna have some trees in the background. Let me take a sip of water. So they're sitting here at the base of a tree that you're gonna see here. So they're sitting here where now the dogs are, and they're resting, and everybody's just exhausted because they ran half a mile, I think is from at that time from the edge of the city to the town center, like was maybe a mile. But you know, they're from the future, they don't do much exercise, so they're just exhausted because they ran a bit. And the city guard probably doesn't care about a young pickpocketer. Like, if he'll catch Niels, good. If he doesn't really care. And plus, nothing was stolen, so they're in the clear now. They're far away. And there's a page here from Newton's Principia Mathematica, and Marie's like, wait a second, there's a page here. I can smell it. It's one of our own. How did it get so far? And then Erwin complains, oh, those pages are cursed, they hate us. And then Niels picks up the page and realizes that, hey, we're from where we started off. Look, there's the farm. And Marie asks Niels, like, did you bring the clothes to return them? And of course Niels did not do that. Erwin's just scratching his ear, and the dogs notice them. So you have like 3 big sheep herding dogs. Sheep herding dogs, British. So I'm not sure if this is the British, although it says Old English sheepdog breed. So I'm not really sure. I know you know more about dogs than me, so draw whatever dog you think is appropriate. I really can't tell the difference. Like me, if it was one of these scraggly things, I have no idea. If it was just a Scottish breed, or if it's all over the UK. But I mean, the bigger, the scarier, the better, because I think it would look more dramatic in the comic book than a border collie chasing you. So in page 101, Erwin looks at the dogs and says something like, why are those dogs getting so close to us? And then you have the dogs descending on the hill, running towards us and going bark, 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 showing their big teeth. And now Niels realizes his pouch is missing, the one we discussed that we forgot to draw, so we'll say he forgot it at home. And that's where he had all of his gizmos and gadgets, like the gloves, gravitational gloves, and the disco ball light thingy. That all his equipment is back home. Oh, he forgot it with Newton. So Marie tells him to grab that stick, and he gets a stick from an old fence. I forgot to draw it here, but those sticks should be like behind him in a corner. Old fence twigs. So hazel. So maybe like one of these lattice old fences, like imagine a decrepit rotten piece of fence like this, and he just grabs a piece of it, a stick out of it, to defend himself with. And he's holding in his hand. Erwin climbed up the tree like a squirrel, like every cat for himself. Marie's the only one that's defending Niels, and you have the three big dogs that are growling, and they are defending the sheep. And the sheep are kind of peeking through. I would like to be the same three sheep that we saw in chapter 1, because I'm doing a cameo of the sheep, because they show up in other stories of mine. So if you can draw the same sheep, that would be great. I don't know if you remember them, but I can give you the image if you don't have it anymore. Okay, so that was it for the next few pages. 100 and 101 are gonna be together, and that will be the event celebration. I'm gonna release 2 pages at the same time. So I colored 98. So 98 is gonna be published on the 27th, and 99 is gonna be published on the 3rd of February. So 100 and 101 will be on the 10th. And also I think on the, did I count that right? 27, 98, 99 gonna be a 3rd. And the 10th is gonna be 100 and 101. And I think it's gonna be Valentine's, but I was thinking of doing the event for Darwin's Day, and that's gonna be the, I was hoping would be later. There are too many things. Yeah, I'll discuss with you on Facebook if we can do anything for Darwin's Day, or we just skip this year. Okay, so thank you everybody for watching. Sorry for the behind the scenes kind of work stuff behind. So yeah, next stream is gonna be this Saturday at 1 o'clock, and usually Saturday I do video games. So I'm gonna I don't know exactly now what I'm gonna do, if I'm gonna do another pixel art tutorial or anything like that, but I'll let you guys know, post it on social media. And of course, my server, come on, YouTube. So I have a Discord server, and you can get the link from here. So YouTube has a discussion place, and I post here announcements on YouTube. So here's the link if you want to join Discord server. I post more updates there. I try and keep the social media only for big updates, because I see that has better viewer and follower retention. I'm trying to figure things out. I don't really know what I'm doing. So yeah, goodbye everyone. Take care. Have a good day. Bye bye.